Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy II for the Nintendo Famicom system. Last episode, Fess, Maxine, and Booker managed to finally find the white mask in the basement of Castle Finn. Now that they have the white mask and the black mask, they can head back to Mysidia to try to find out what these two items are needed for. They kind of know that they're part of the key to gain access to the Mysidia Tower, where the ultimate magic Ultima is located. Minwu, the White Wizard of Finn, was sent there to try to get that ultimate magic a long time ago, but haven't heard anything from him, so maybe we'll run into him on our own quest to get that magic. So, I didn't check out the spell shop last time I was in Finn, but nothing there that we need, so anything that we could have gotten there, we could have also gotten earlier in Mysidia. Remember, we sequence braked and went to Mysidia earlier in the game to grab that ice bow for Layla before we did the Tropical Island and the Deist Cavern. So, yeah, we'll be heading back to Mysidia. Well, not necessarily Mysidia, but we'll be heading near Mysidia in this episode. We're going to do a slight detour, and we'll notice that the enemies are much easier now that we've built up our levels and our skills. So, it's always good to see the progress that your characters are making. So, once again, we're going to have a few of those status curing items, gold needles, maiden kisses, and then mallets as well, just to protect against stone, frog, and amnesia, respectively. So, the guy on the left here is the one who always sells those things. They're pretty expensive, now I just realize it, so. But, I guess that's okay because status ailments don't really become an issue until later in the game when you can kind of afford these things, so. And too bad we can't have more inventory space. We're getting pretty crowded here. So, yeah, that's one of the, I guess, shortcomings of the game. You don't have a lot of inventory space, but we'll make do with what we got, so. Make it all look pretty, too, so. Gonna have to stay at the inn here soon, so heal ourselves up, because we got a pretty decent sized journey to get to Mysidia, or to do what we need to do. So, like I said, we're not necessarily going to Mysidia. We're gonna just, we could go to Mysidia, but I want to show something off. So, I know I mentioned when we first went to Mysidia that there was a cave that we could have gone to get two treasures that were pretty good, but it turns out the monster's a little too strong for it, so we'll be actually going to that cave before we head to Mysidia, so there's something I want to show off in that cave, and might as well get those treasures on the first floor, so. See what disgusting. Castle Finn is ours again, thanks to you. No problem. Anyway, yeah, the next dungeon we're going to go to, the Mysidia Cave, it's kind of the opposite of the Castle Finn basement, where Castle Finn basement had really terrible treasure on the top floors, and then got better treasure at the bottom. In this one, the better treasure is at the top of the cave, and then at the bottom, it's pretty lousy treasure, except for like two things. Mysidia's on a continent to the south. We already know that. You folks are heroes, and that was the guy who was wanting to join the Empire earlier on in the game. We got Finn back? Yes, we have. But, yeah, other than the one spell and the Crystal Rod, which is the final item needed to enter the Mysidia Tower. If you try to enter the Mysidia Tower right now, you can't enter it. It's just kind of like Castle Finn was earlier in the game, where you can walk up to it, but they won't allow you access into it. So, we need to get the Crystal Rod. That is the main key, but in order to get the Crystal Rod, we need the white and the black mask. They say the books in Mysidia hold all the world's secrets. Well, do they have a secret to get this person to move faster? Of course, I knew they were going to turn around and block my path again. And of course, they're going to go over the bridge instead of going over to the left to make things difficult for me. But yeah, I guess that's your clue that the books in Mysidia hold all these, like, secret knowledge to go and talk with the books. And we'll go do that because we've gotten quite a few more keywords since we've gotten since we went to Mysidia last time. And some of the new keywords that we got, basically mask, will let us know what we have to do with the two masks, the white and the black. So each of them has a specific purpose. So, but we will learn about them in the next episode. No, we're not ending this episode right now, but this episode will take a while. So, we're going to just head down this way to the edge where the forest ends. Basically right there. That's pretty much the best part to park our ship at. Because it's basically in a good location for all the destinations you want to go to. The Mysidia Cave directly to the southwest, Mysidia, and then directly north is the island where Mysidia Tower is. So there's a small little channel getting into that, but... So... Well, let's take out these enemies here, which are not as tough. The worst enemies are the black puddings, because they can poison your characters, and they're only weak against fire. Their defense is so high that, like all the other flan type monsters, you can't hurt them unless you have a critical hit. And they have enough hit points that Maxine can't multi-target and defeat them with one fire spell. It's going to take at least 2 fire spells to defeat them. So yeah, they can be a pain. But yeah, we had a lot of problem with them the first time we came to Mysidia because they had so many attacks and we didn't have really good evasion that they usually end up poisoning Fess and Booker, and we weren't getting stats even though they were high level 5 monsters. Because usually one of them would end up poisoned at the end of the round because we didn't have enough time to heal everybody, or Fess's and Suna wasn't a high enough level to guarantee success with curing the poison. So we'd cure one of them from poison and the other one would get hit and get poisoned. So, but now we got better evade, better Insuna levels, so the black flans won't be as big of an issue, or the black puddings. I call them flans because that's the monster family they are considered in future games. So, in the Final Fantasy IV the After Years, there's actually a sword called the Flan Sword that actually allows you to deal damage to flans. But we don't have that in this one here, so we just have to rely on different black magic spells to take them out. And different ones have different weaknesses. Hey, Fess got another knife level. Increase the evasion. So we're going to head to the east here, just around this little mountain. You don't want to go head straight south of these mountains, because then you will miss the Mysidia Cave. You got to kind of loop around those mountains. So we're going to end up in Mysidia later, but like I said, I want to go to this Mysidia Cave to show off what happens. There's an enemy, not necessarily an enemy, an obstacle, I guess would be a better term for it, that won't necessarily be here once we start using the masks correctly. So I just want to show off what it's like before you use the masks, and give me a little bit extra time to potentially try to gain some stats. So yeah, I have no, since I know after this it's going to be a short trek, and I'll be heading to Mysidia to heal up. Try to get as much work on Fess's Asuna spell as possible, so won't really be attacking. We'll be leaving that to Booker and Layla. Layla's become quite proficient in her bow and arrow skills, so sadly this will be the last dungeon that we will have Layla in. So, but don't worry, she'll be here for quite a while because this is a pretty long dungeon. So you'll still have a lot of time to appreciate Layla. Layla's a lot of people like Layla because she's one of the few few party members who join you who survive the adventure. You see, we lost Joseph already, and we'll lose a few more later on. And plus, like, she's the guess the first version of a female pirate captain that we get in the Final Fantasy series, and one of the most beloved female pirate captains in the series is Faris from Final Fantasy V. Sarissa is her real name. That's what one of my last rats was named after, Princess Sarissa. She was the one who did the Final Fantasy V 4 job fiestas for the past 3 years. But yeah, Princess Sarissa Faris there is a pretty popular character in her game, Final Fantasy V, so Layla being the precursor to Faris kind of gets a lot of her love, so she was the template, so hard-nosed female captain who joins the party and is a reliable ally. So, kind of a modified thief sprite from the first game. Guy is, or a Booker there. I'm using his canon name is the thief class, and sort of how Maxine there is a variant of the fighter sprite that Fess uses. Layla is a variant of the thief sprite that Booker uses. So, that would be neat. I wonder why they never did that. Why they never, when they did the remakes of Final Fantasy 1 all the time, they didn't make the option to, you know, have different genders, you know. When you already have kind of the templates here, you know, and then, so, would have been neat. I mean, when they remade those games, they already had Final Fantasy V made, and so there were, you know, options for that, because, you know, you had 3 female characters and 2 male characters in that game, and, so there was, you know, female Black Wizard sprites, female monk sprites, male monk sprites, you know, all the different jobs had all different sprites to appeal to the different genders, so, that's weird. I wonder why they never did that. Would have been interesting to do, but, yeah, oh well. So, if anyone in Square is listening and you decide to remake the games in another 20 years or so, do that. Yeah, they just made them, I think, last year. The Pixel remasters, Final Fantasy 1 through 6. They remade them all. So, a lot of people didn't like the remake of this one, though, because they didn't keep the bonus content. A lot of people liked the Soul of Rebirth bonus content from the Game Boy Advance version of this remake of this game. A lot of people say it's one of the best post-game content, and people were really upset that they did not include that in the Pixel remaster. But, oh well, I guess you can't have it all. So, I have no desire to pick up the Pixel remasters because, like I said, I already have these ones, and I don't really do computer gaming. So, well, I have some computer gaming, but usually from the good old games, so they're usually cheap and little free games that the thing gives off. So, no need to buy the Pixel remasters when they have the originals right here. So, but we're gonna head over here to the left here. All these doors are basically trap rooms, so I'm not going to bother going into any of them. We're just going to head down this way to get one quick treasure chest, and then we're going to head down to the south to where we should be going if we want to advance further in the dungeon, but we aren't able to advance fully in this dungeon because we need to do something with those masks first. Most playthroughs that I've seen of this really don't show off this, what happens if you come here before using one of the masks, so that's why I decided to keep it in. So I know my old playthrough that I had of this that kind of lost on YouTube did this as well, so it's just something neat to show off. So like I said, I like to show off all the different things in the game, so it's just a way for you know, me to also, you know, enjoy the game as well, you know, see all the cool things that, you know, the developers, I guess, maybe intended for you to see. So and maybe a few Easter eggs that you wouldn't normally see, so... Unfortunately, you didn't get to heal Booker up there, so... I accidentally sold that ancient sword, so it would have been nice if I would have still had that, because then I could equip it, and it had really bad accuracy, and I'd probably miss a few times, and would be able to get some extra, turns in, but... Oh, so we'll just walk back to the entrance here, rather than walk back, because where we want to go to get the other treasure is to the south there. So, got another one of those gold pins. It is strong against lightning, so it gives resistance to lightning, plus it gives that plus 10 agility. So, it's a good piece of headgear, but most of our characters have different headgear, and already have the Thief's Gauntlets to give that agility boost, so... Remember, you can only have one item to give a certain boost, so you can't double up on items. You can't have two agility boosting items. So, only one will work. So, but it's good that the game throws a bunch of different, items out there. There's, I wish there was more stuff that, like, boosted stuff like spirit and intelligence. But, you have headgear that boosts agility, gauntlets that boost agility, gauntlets that boost strength, headgear that boosts strength, body armor that increases strength, body armor for agility, but you only get body armor to increase spirit and intelligence, so yeah, it kind of stinks. So it'd be nice because a lot of body armor has resistances, so it'd be nice to give a certain resistance. You wouldn't have to rely so much on ribbons, so... But, yeah, as long as you get... You basically only need one of the ribbons from the... you need one ribbon from the drop from the Lamia Queen, really, to make things easier. Because you'll get another ribbon later on in the final dungeon. That'll end up going to Maxine, and Booker will end up getting a shield that gives resistances to all to mind, matter, body, and death, and then he'll get heavy armor that will give him resistances to the 4 elements: lightning, ice, fire, and the poison arrow. So you got a black garb there. That is a piece of body armor that gives agility, plus 10 agility. So, and also I think prevents 1 status ailment. I don't know. I don't have it on hand with me right away, but it's a good piece of armor because it's a light armor, and like I said, it gives that agility. So it's potentially, you give a ribbon for, like, if you're doing a fighter without heavy armor, you can give the ribbon for all the status ailments, the black robe for the agility bonus, and then you can give giant gloves for the strength bonus. So they'll still have good evasion, and they'll block all the elements and get their bonus to strength and agility. So, like I said, it's a good light armor, so it's good for, evasion tanks. Eventually, though, Guy will have such good evasion that he can afford to wear, the heavier armor. So he'll be able to wear the Dragon Mail, which is basically like the best armor in Final Fantasy Legend 2, at least in terms of like resistances, because it gives resistances to pretty much everything in that game. There are a few armors that have better pure defensive power, but none that have such good defensive power and give elemental protection. And in that game, like, magic is king, which is why, like, monsters that have magical attacks are so much better than monsters that just do physicals, because magic can target groups, and just scales better in terms of damage. So, magic is king in that game, so much better to be able to resist magic and have the elemental protection. So, yeah, if you want to check out that playthrough, it's on my YouTube channel here, so. That's with Linus, Vincent, Honey Mouse, and P. And Honey Mouse says her brothers and sisters will be in Final Fantasy 3. Out of our way! Out of our way! So yeah, we got this doppelganger here, and it blocks our path. It does everything we do, and yeah, we get that little cutscene if we talk with it, so... Yeah, if you, for some reason Fess was knocked out and another character was on the sprite, where sprite was shown on screen, that sprite would be there for the doppelganger, so... We're gonna have to use one of the masks to take care of it, but before we can take care of it and use that mask, we gotta do something else, so... What do we have to do? Well, we'll find out in our next episode when we head back to Mysidia. Take care, have a good one, see you then. Bye!